So with ethical hacking comes testing. And there are different kinds of testing that you want to do. Some examples of testing would be doing scanning, doing vulnerability checks, doing ethical hacking, and maybe actually performing a penetration test. So some of the approaches you can take to these different kinds of testing itself, you have the black box approach. This is where you have no prior knowledge of the infrastructure, but you still try to compromise it. You also have the white box approach. And this is where you know everything about the system, and then once you know the system, you can exploit different vulnerabilities. Now you might also have the gray box approach. Now this is sometimes called internal testing. And basically what this does is this examines to what extent can insiders within my network compromise our system itself. So what are the deliverables after you've done this testing? Well, you're going to have an ethical hacking report. And this is basically going to detail all of your results. Were you able to gain access? Were you able to maintain access? Were you able to cover your tracks successfully? You're going to also detail all the vulnerabilities that you found, and in addition to detailing them, you're going to make recommendations on how they're actually going to repair those or fix those vulnerabilities so they can't be exploited in the future. So one thing that you have to consider if you're going to do ethical hacking, especially for an external client, is make sure that you get the proper authorization from the proper person. In other words, make sure that you have some kind of a non-disclosure clause, make sure you have a legal contract, and you should really see your attorney for that. Each company will be different, but make sure that you have permission from the right person. It may not be that the director of the IT department has the permission or the authority to give you access or let you test their system. So make sure when you're going through and getting your contracts that not only do you run them through a lawyer to make sure that they're legally correct, but make sure that you're dealing with the correct person as well. So some of the different sites that you can go out to and investigate computer crimes, and go to www.cybercrime.gov. On that site, you'll find all kinds of information about computer crimes and how they've been committed and whether they've been found guilty and what fines and how much damage they did. So there are a lot of different information that you can get from that website itself. So finally, to wrap up this section, we're going to talk very briefly about some of the different laws that are going to be in effect. In the U.S., you're going to have Statute 1029 and 1030, and these are going to be your main statutes that deal with different fraud and other activity related to accessing information, whether it's through computers or it might even be through different kinds of wired or line devices. So the gist is that you want to make sure that you do complete research and that you're aware of what laws apply depending upon where you're going to be doing your hacking. Of course, like I said, Section 1029 is going to be the main one, and it deals specifically with people that intend to defraud or compromise systems. You'll also need to be aware of what are the penalties. Now, you might be doing business in some of the other countries as well, and I would encourage you in each of those countries to make sure that you understand exactly what their laws are and what the penalties are in those areas as well. And this is one of the reasons why you want to make sure that you have your information run through the attorney so that you have the proper clearance. So whether you're going to be doing the ethical hacking in the United States, in Japan, perhaps the United Kingdom, or many other places from Australia to Europe to even Asia, make sure that you understand your laws. So to summarize here, security is critical across all sectors and all industries. It's not just for computer-based companies. It's for all companies. Ethical hacking is a methodology in which we simulate a malicious attack without actually causing any damage. Hacking has 5 distinct phases, and security evaluation includes preparation, conduct, and evaluation of those different phases. Cybercrime basically has several different categories, and those are addressed by different U.S. statutes or perhaps statutes in the country in which you're going to be doing the ethical hacking.